ClassJournals.com is a new in-the-cloud application that reinvents the notebook. But, as you'll see, it's much more than that. Overall, the objective of ClassJournals is to support iterative learner improvement. There are two core design principles. The first principle is completely consistent with the common core goal to give students critical thinking and problem-solving skills that will help them in college and in their careers. ClassJournals facilitates critical thought, reflection, and concept development. The second principle is that ClassJournals integrates student-teacher interactions into a single efficient digital workflow that enables ongoing, easy-to-provide feedback between students and teachers. The processes through which teachers build student skills and knowledge involve the creation and distribution of learning tasks and the review and critiquing of student responses. As schools move to digital alternatives to paper-based workflows that are often complex and time-consuming, ClassJournals makes these processes easier and more intuitive. Let us show you what we mean. To do this, we will demonstrate each attribute of ClassJournals in the next series of slides. First, let's think about the educational potential of a tool that's focused on idea development. Whether it's Leonardo's magnificent 15th century notebooks, Darwin's 18th century first evolutionary tree, or Crick's 20th century double helix, the greatest thinkers of Western civilization developed their ideas over extended periods in words and sketches, documenting progress at intermediate stages so they could re-engage their ideas and refine them iteratively. Yet nearly all digital documents we use today in schools were developed to facilitate the communication of final polished thoughts as presentations. ClassJournals, however, aims to restore the notebook's reflective and discovery purposes that focus on the journey rather than the final product. ClassJournals' focus on reflection and discovery is enhanced by our easy-to-use and intuitive interface. Let's look at the three primary student user interfaces. In the upper left corner is the home page, which every user, student and teacher, will see when they log into ClassJournals. The home page is immediately familiar looking to most users. The user interface is modeled after web-based email applications. In the center of this screen is a list of documents that belong to this user. Above this list are radio buttons, with the Documents button shown as the selected one. Clicking on other radio buttons, for example assignments or images, will change the central list. Folders in the left column are created by the user, except for the top home folder, which everyone has, and any item in the central list can be dragged and dropped into a folder. A student can easily create a folder for each subject. All assignments will arrive in this list and be dropped onto the appropriate folder. Opening an item from the home page, just as in an email system, involves simply a click on one of the listed items. The click will activate the Multimedia Documents editor. In the example on the right, the highlighted UI shows a document with a YouTube video embedded in it, followed by an image of a double helix that is content related to the movie. A biology teacher can easily distribute a study sheet, perhaps one with questions that students will answer, that begins with an embedded movie or a simulation, to provide students instant access to engaging and relevant content. In this larger example of a document page, styled for an elementary school audience, examples of a heading, a text section, a table, an image, and a sketch are shown. Each of these is added to the document through a click on one of the top toolbar buttons. Just under this top toolbar is a rich text sub-toolbar. Each student can set their preferred font size, typeface, and font color from their home page and never use the rich text sub-toolbar. If they do want styled text, controls are available including subscripts, superscripts, Greek letters for math and science, and arrows for chemistry. ClassJournals also has an integrated sketch tool with features that can be helpful across the curriculum. Unique to our application is a shape recognition capability that will detect hand-drawn lines with or without arrowheads, ellipses including circles, rectangles, diamonds, and triangles. Here are two columns of shapes, the left column containing shapes as drawn, and the right containing shapes as recognized and replaced by the shape recognition tool. This feature is especially helpful in drawing concept maps for brainstorming new ideas, or in process diagrams explaining, for example, the steps involved in a biology lab experiment. On the left column of this user interface is a sketch tool palette with many controls for other common drawing features, setting line and fill colors, selecting drawn shapes from the canvas, adding text, undoing and redoing prior actions, etc. Here is a full list of the document elements that can be added by a student or a teacher. It includes headings, text, tables, images, sketches, links, calculations, notes, both sticky notes and sketch notes, more on this in just a moment, videos, and interactives or simulations. Back to our list of what teachers value most in the ClassJournals app. Of particular value, both to teachers and students' peers who may be in reviewer roles, are the capabilities ClassJournals has to enable and retain comments. Either typed or drawn notes can be added to and saved with any document or assignment. Let's first look at typed comments, also known as sticky notes. With a document section selected, a commenter simply clicks on the Typed Note button, second from the end on the toolbar, to place an empty note on the selection. The note will automatically provide the commenter's name and the date and time of the comment. The less than and delete buttons on the top of the note will minimize and move the note to the left margin and delete the note, respectively. The note will grow in length as long as the commenter continues to type, and any number of notes can be placed on a document section. With both typed and drawn notes, a clear distinction is made between the document author and the commenter. If the comment is left by someone other than the document author, the comment cannot be deleted, although it can be minimized. A commenter can only comment. He or she cannot modify the document directly. We think it is important to emphasize this distinction between author and reviewer, and to preserve the author's work and the reviewer's comments. The drawn note is a unique feature of ClassJournals. With a drawn note, any document section can be made the background of a sketch. A reviewer can then draw or type directly over the selected document section. When the commenter saves the note, it is placed into the document directly below the section that was the target of the comment. This way, if the author makes changes to the original section, perhaps following the commenter's advice, the original state is preserved. At a later time, a teacher who has provided the comments can evaluate how effective her critique has been in guiding the student forward. As with the typed note, drawn notes can be minimized by the student. Next on the list, let's take a quick look at how ClassJournals features support different learning styles. Here are a few examples across the curriculum. First, the sketch tool lends itself well to drawing concept maps or mind maps. The built-in shape recognizer quickly identifies oval or rectangular shapes, which represent a topic or a subtopic. Line connections between shapes are also quickly detected and are assembled by the application as an interconnected network of topics. This interconnected representation means that a shape can be moved without disconnecting it from the rest of the network, and the lines will automatically adjust. Particularly when drawing with a stylus or one's finger on a tablet, these kinds of idea generation exercises can be done easily and effectively. While concept mapping can facilitate imaginative idea generation, tools to add structure to written work are also important. For structure, it's often helpful to work in a more focused way to add detail and logic to specific topics or subtopics. Here, for example, is a page with three main topics, headings with the letters A, B, and C, and with subtopics inserted underneath each. The minus signs to the left of the headings can be clicked to collapse the following subtopics up to the next heading, temporarily hiding them and adding focus and attention to the visible sections. The blue column on the left side of this document is an automatically generated index with sections represented by tiles, each containing a snippet of the content of each section. A user can navigate around their document by clicking on these tiles to move quickly. A third type of document section supports the math area of the curriculum. In particular, it provides helpful feedback to students working with math expressions of the type one would use a scientific calculator for. By clicking on the Math button on the toolbar, the user adds a math table to their document. This type of table allows the user to enter an expression, including symbolic values, for example pi or radius, in an equation. Even before they have defined the values of these variables, the user can click the Calculate button in their math table to see what corrective feedback the application will offer. In this example, they receive a prompt to define the value to be associated with the variable radius. As you might expect, the application already knows the value of pi. And unlike the situation with a calculator, student work is preserved in this table so that teachers can review and correct misunderstandings their students may have. ClassJournals also provides a platform for assignments, which ask that students provide evidence in support of their views. Evidence-based learning is of particular interest to those shaping their curricula to be consistent with Common Core objectives. Consider this student response to a teacher-made unit on how mold grows. Note the sketch in the center of the page and the photograph of mold on bread at the bottom. Both sketches and images are easily added to a document. The assignment itself looks like this, a document authored by a teacher and distributed to students. It provides scaffolding to guide the student in their data collection and observations, but it leaves the supplying of evidence and the analysis of evidence to the students. The final versions students submit to teachers for evaluation and comment, or grading, are unique to each student. The process for assignment or quiz creation, distribution, and review is completely contained within the ClassJournals application. There are no external cloud locations to check for new materials, no potential for confusion about where to look for documents or whether the right ones have been found, and there is no time spent by teachers or students navigating among a set of different interoperating tools. ClassJournals also contains several innovative features which enable peers to critique each other's work, all at the teacher's discretion. And teachers are able to selectively share student work products with appropriate adults, typically parents, but sometimes other teachers or school specialists. Here, the light blue section at the top of the figure shows the controls available to every teacher of every class, which enable them to change collaboration settings for each class. The default setting is for only the student and the teacher to have document access, but teachers can also click on Open Access and Permission-Based Access. Open Access means all students can have access to all documents that other students have chosen to share. Permission-based access allows teachers to create teams of students, from pairs to any number, which can access each other's documents. Offering students peer editing opportunities can be a powerful technique to motivate students to be thorough and conscientious in their own work and in their critiques of others. The middle portion of this image shows a sample email to a parent containing a link to a student-made document. ClassJournals provides teachers an external link to every document students create and to every assignment students receive. The bottom portion of this image shows a table of such document links. With a document link from this table, a parent or another teacher can open a particular example of student work without having an account in the ClassJournals system. They can review the student work as a read-only document, but not change it. Teachers can also share materials with each other. There are two methods provided that enable sharing. The first method is via a school or district-based library called an exchange, automatically created for each school account. This allows teachers who are creating reusable materials to contribute them to the library so that other teachers can access them. The second method enables teachers to save a ClassJournals document they have created onto their Mac or Windows PC. They can then email the document to other teachers anyplace, and if those teachers use ClassJournals also, they can import the documents into their own libraries where they can use them as their own. In summary then, ClassJournals is cloud-based, kid-friendly, individualized with online notes and notebooks. It supports efficient distribution, collection, and critique of assignments. It offers intuitive sketches, importing of images, construction of tables, etc. And it makes student work accessible to parents and other students, all at the teacher's discretion. Finally, teacher-made materials are shareable with other teachers so that reusable curriculum libraries can be created. Please do follow up with us to get more information. With any browser, navigate to ClassJournals.com and click the Schedule a Demo button, or simply send an email to info@ClassJournals.com. We will get back to you promptly.